All right, guys, we are here. Today we're taking a look at the new fuse mount from Scalarworks. I got really excited and already mounted this one. So if you want to see how to mount these, some of the cool new features compared with one of their older Leap mounts, stick around because we're going to be checking out this and some of the new mounts that go on it. I first got the Scalarworks mount a while back. They're fuse mounts. I got to talk with them at SHOT Show 2025. And one of the cool things about Scalarworks is they make really lightweight mounts, but they're incredibly strong. So this one actually was the one that came with me on the Mammoth Sniper Challenge earlier this year, and it was rock solid. I've had friends that said, "Oh man, their quick release or quick detach mount just comes loose. You got to make sure that's really cranked on." You do not. It is actually specifically designed that you don't have to just tighten the heck out of that thing. And so we did really well at Mammoth. No issues. In fact, my buddy's scope base, the part that actually attaches to the action, that screw actually came loose, but the optic mount actually stayed rock solid. So today we're going to show you how to install this thing, how to level it. So let's take a look at what we have inside the box. Inside the box, when you first get it, this one I've taken the wrapping off, but haven't opened it yet. So obviously you have a card with the little user manual. You have your mount that has been wrapped, and you have a few tools. Set that off to the side. You have their patented level drive, and you've got some Torx wrenches for the various screws that they have on there. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to open this thing up here. Let me grab a knife. Sorry, Ray, it's not a Microtech. As we get into here, is that their new fuse mounts do not have the hinge opening, which is kind of nice. I liked the hinge opening, but it was definitely a little finicky to try and get the scope in there and clamp things over. So this is much easier. Again, this is a 0 MOA, so it's just flat. You can see that it's got the nylon screw, the nylon locking screws in there. These have all been treated as well, and there's 6 on each front and back. What's nice is that they now have some laser markings on there that say no gap. You're going to tighten that down, and then you'll do the other side, and then they have laser markings saying 20 inch-pounds, making sure that you don't over torque your scope. Or over torque the mount. So one of the cool things that they have is this level drive. Now I'm going to show you a little cool thing about it, and you do have to be careful, and I'll show you one of the things with my new Burris optics scope. That's the problem when you're trying to level this thing, but you can solve that because of the Burris mount. So on the bottom you can see it says level drive, and all I'm going to do is take this tool and I'm going to screw that in there, boom, like that. All right, now I'm just going to undo these screws real fast because I want to be able to get the scope in. So I've got my the bottom part plus the level drive. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to put my scope in there. Now, talking with Jimmy from Scalarworks, one of the cool things is they assume that modern optics companies, like Burris, basically can manufacture a level bottom to a scope. All right, so all we're doing is we're just gonna be tightening this, and it's just gonna help push against the bottom to give a nice flat surface to mount up to, and then I can clamp the top down. All right, so now that I've got that in there, it's just nice and loose, is I'm just gonna put these two on the top right here, and then again, I'm just gonna loosely hand tighten down for now, just to make sure these screws don't get away from me. And then we'll torque them in just a moment. There we go. Okay, so as you can see that it's in there and it is still wobbly, right? That is part of the plan. So let me grab my torque wrench over here. I'm going to set it to 20 inch-pounds. Boom. Okay. Like I said, it's really handy that they include all the Torx tools because that just goes right in the Torx wrench. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten down the no gap side to 20 inch-pounds. Boom, here's one. Two. Three. 4. 5. And last one. 20 inch-pounds does not feel like a lot. 6. Okay, so you'll notice the scope still will move in there because I haven't tightened down that other side. So here's where I'm going to tighten down the level drive, and I'm going to give the scope a little wiggle, just make sure it's flat. And I can see that there's still a little gap in there, so I'm just going to wiggle it, make sure that it's flat, and gently tightening down the level drive. You'll notice that there is a place to put a tool through there to turn it. I just hand tighten it. Like, you don't want to just crank down on the bottom of your scope because that can cause issues with the internals. So now this thing is not moving around. It is flush up against the level drive. That's what makes it such a great thing. And now I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to torque down these other 6 to 20 inch-pounds. And it's going to be okay that there's a gap on this side. Again, like their old one did, it basically clamped over this one because it's got, this kind of acts the same way, but you're just leveraging off of one side. So those 3 are already done. This is nice because I haven't had to bust out any of my tools to level this thing, any the little shim type stuff that you can put under there, or balancing levels on top, or trying to hang a plumb bob on the wall and get it all level, or use my long range arms level. I haven't had to do any of that. So now that I've got that torque down, it has put a little bit more pressure on the bottom, and this is where I will use just an Allen wrench right here to put through and to undo that. All right, it just gives me a little bit more torque. And now I can just take this off. Now that my level drive piece is out of there, I'm going to go back through and I'm going to just make sure everything is at 20 inch-pounds. The no gap side should not have moved. There might be a little bit of, oh, there it is. Yep, just a tiny bit of extra tightening needed on this side now that that level drive is out of the way. Boom, and that thing is totally leveled. It is mounted in exactly as it should be. It's super fast and rock solid. All right. When we go to install this, again, we're going to be wet mounting it onto our rail. this is actually going to be going on a different gun, but I wanted to show you one of the cool new things that they do have, and one person had asked me online about it, so I'm going to go through and show you guys one of the new accessories. One of the cool features that Scalarworks has designed, their old mount, the Leap scope mount, the one with the clamp over on the top there, it came with a kick mount that you could get, a red dot mount that would mount to the side right here in this little slot. And this was pretty cool, so that if you're shooting and then you need to do some close range work, you could rotate to 30 degrees rather than 45 and have a red dot right there. One of the newer trends, however, is actually having something riding right along the top of the scope, and that helps with aiming ahead of time. Like, you're looking at a target, you're on target with that red dot, and then you get on the scope. They have engineered it so that stuff can attach right to the front. They're working on a diving board that'll be coming in 2026, but you can mount a red dot optic to this. So let me show you. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to remove this front one, because generally you're going to mount it up front. All right. Okay, so we have the top off. All we're going to do, and you can order these depending on which red dot you have. This is actually the RMR footprint, because I have a Viridian Weapon Systems dot that I put on my pistols and everything. And you can see that Scalarworks does a great job. They include screws to mount the red dot to the mount. And then they have the screws that mount this to the top. So we're just going to use these screws right here. I'm going to put it on. So we turn this upside down. Those screws go in the bottom there, and they are just going to screw right into here. Again, using the exact same tool. Just tighten that just gently so I can get the other one so I don't lose my screws, because I am famous for doing that. All right. And again, everything is nice and chamfered, and it just goes in there and fits perfectly. There we go. It's tightened down. Perfect. Okay. They even have laser markings of like 15 inch-pounds when you're tightening your optic onto that. Okay, so you can see that that's mounted on there. Boom. And then I would attach my screws. I'm only going to attach 2 of them at the moment, because I wanted to give you guys a measurement. I'll hold this up so you can see it as I do it. Just tightening that down so that there's no gap. Torquing it down to 20 inch-pounds. Boom. And right now the other side would not have moved. This scope is still level in this mount, which is just awesome. Okay, boom, there we go, 20 inch-pounds. So now you can see I can choose to run an optic on the front here or not. What's really nice is that because they come in different footprints, you can mount whatever. And so now as you're looking down the scope, you can see that red dot over the top. Now, one of the things that it will depend on is the height of your turret. Because I run Burris optics, their race dials, and with the new PS, I had actually mounted it earlier and I could not see the dot because these turrets are so tall. But if you're running something like a Loopold or a ZCO or something like that, where the turrets are a little bit lower, a red dot is going to be really cool on there for faster target acquisition. So you can see that that is on there.
and that it was super, super easy to mount, and that is going to be rock solid. When their diving boards come out for mounting your weapon-mounted laser rangefinders, things like that, you're going to use that exact same process, just 2 screws through the bottom, and then that thing is solid, right? Like I said, I got really eager and had already mounted the first Scalarworks fuse mount to my rifle, and now I got to take it off and show you guys how I leveled it using the new Burris XTR PS. So one of the things that I love about this rifle is that scope is that there's so many cool features packed in there. If the battery dies, it still operates like a normal scope, so of course keep hard dope on you at all times. But one of the cool things that this comes with, and we'll see if we can get it into the scope there, is it comes with a level. You can see it moving across the bottom there. And so I'm going to be pairing that with my long range arms level to make sure my rifle is level, and then I can make sure that my scope is level as well. So I've got this. I'm going to, again, just set it there, but I'm not going to use the level drive. The reason being, on the new XTR PS scopes, this bottom piece here is actually plastic, and if you push on that, there are some very sensitive magnets in the bottom, and that will throw off your dial. I had some issues with that until I realized what was happening, and then I was like, oh, no problem. So you can mount it kind of traditionally, like with some of the shims if you want, but again, it's got a really good precise to a 1/2 degree bubble level in there, so you don't even need that. So I'm just going to throw it in here, put this on, and I'm just going to, again, tighten these down to where they're, just hand tight. I don't want to go nuts, but I'm going to do the no gap side first. Okay, those are in there. Again, nice and loose. All right, so let's go over to the rifle.
Okay, so first thing that we are going to do is we're going to mount this onto the rail. And of course, oh, I left a piece over there. Now we're going to use the larger T25 Torx here. I'm just going to snug that down a little bit. And I already know where I had it, so it's just going to go back right in the same place. Perfect. Now, Scalarworks, again, did a really great job. They put laser markings on there. The base should be 50 inch-pounds when it's fully torqued down. Again, I am not a gunsmith by any stretch of the imagination, so it makes it really nice and easy for me to be able to just look at it and go, oh, 50 inch-pounds, set my torque wrench, and go, because I am not a, like I said, a gunsmith, and a gunsmith is going to know all these values and everything, and I am not. So now that that is on there, right, torqued down at 50 inch-pounds, again, this is still loose. It is not level. So I want to go get my long-range arms level. And I'm just going to slide it right on here. It does actually fit right under the front, which is nice. And I'm going to turn that on. Oops, wrong direction a bit. Yep, there we go. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and torque down the no gap side. So we've got this no gap side all torqued down. You can see that this obviously still is not level. I'm going to first level the rifle, and I've got my Spartan Precision tripod here, and so that makes it really easy, right? Where I'm just going to go a little bit to the right. Boom. And you can see that we've got our green light. We are level, right? I'm going to turn on the scope. right here. And now I can just use that level in the scope and go, oh, that is nice and level, right? I've even got my level in the XLR chassis right here. So that's really handy. So now that I know that this is level and this is level, I'm going to go ahead and torque down the other side. So as you can see, it's a little bit less convenient than being able to use their level drive, but still, in the grand scheme of things, very nice. Oh, perfectly level, perfectly level. Boom, we are all set. Thank you so much for watching. Again, mounting one of the Scalarworks mounts is so easy to do. They are rock solid, they're light, so you don't need something super, super heavy. If you are competing in, say, an RL Hunter or something like that, the optic mount might be one place that you could save just a little bit of weight, where you can still have that one-piece mount that's extremely rigid and robust, but not have to worry about as you're hiking around and everything, or having that 12-pound limit, which is really nice. Again, you can't go wrong with the Leap, the quick detach, where it's got the click drive on there that just hooks on. Those are great. But again, I'm loving the fuse mounts, and in fact, I've got another one on the way, just because everything is getting replaced. One of the things that I've had it happen multiple times, and so of course I called the guys over at Scalarworks and was like, it happened again. The lever on my ADM mount loosened up on me under recoil and hiking around at Steel Safari, and caused me to miss points. So out with the old, in with the new. I want to give a big shout out to Burris Optics for just making a phenomenal scope and getting me that 5.5 to 30 XTR PS. This one's coming to Mammoth. I used the 3.5, 3 to 18 at last Mammoth. This one should be a little bit, give me an even better field of view. And of course, my main sponsor, Helix 6 Precision, making the best barrels on the planet. This thing has been shooting quarter-minute groups. Absolute tack driver. It's in 223, and I'll be bringing the Sierra Bullets 80 grain hollow point boat tails out there, and so shooting quarter-inch groups with those, with this whole setup. So I'm really excited about that. And then of course rocking the Spartan Precision tripod for the journey. So go check out Scalarworks. I'll put some video of the website on there, and check them out. They've got mounts for red dots, they've got iron sights, they've got all the different stuff. So definitely go ahead, check them out. Ditch your ADM quick lever mounts that inconsistently clamp and everything. Get you one of the new hotness fuse mounts from Scalarworks. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.